5 life lessons from having a baby. Life lesson number 1. You're capable of a lot more than you think. First few weeks, days, I would say first 3 months are pretty hectic having a baby. You're busy all the time, at least I was. Up day and night. You learn to go without sleep. I mean, you realize you can live without sleep, but you cannot go without rest. You realize for the first time how much you can get done in a single day and night. And how, at the end of the day, you're actually quite okay. You know, when that moment comes where you get your rest for an hour, where you get to just lay down and regroup, you realize at the end of the day, even though you're so busy, you're okay. You're quite fine. And it's quite cool to see how much you're actually capable of. And from that comes life lesson number 2. Regrets a bitch. Because now you have a baby, you realize, oh my god, I'm capable of so many things. I can push myself this far. This is quite awesome. And when you look back at your life before, there were so many things you wanted to do, so many things you wanted to explore. But now that you know you can do it and want to do it, you can't do it. So yeah, regrets bitch. But now you know, and next time when opportunity arises, do something, you'll make sure you do it. Life lesson 3. A lot of the pain you think you experience is not real. Again, looking back at my life, how I was living, I had a lot of moments where I thought, my life's hard, and it's so burdensome, so much pain. Then you have a baby, and then you realize what real pain is like. I mean, their digestive systems are immature, they get a lot of pain from that. They start teething, they grow super fast. I mean, their bones are just like growing, and it's when you realize, never mind, my pain's not real. What you're experiencing, that's real. So you learn to reprioritize, and when you see those thoughts coming up, you just know, okay, you're just irrelevant. So from that perspective, again, you get a lot more done because you're not as consumed about how crappy things are going, because you realize that what you thought was hard was not really hard. Babies have it hard. And from that also comes life lesson number 4. Babies don't give up, so why should you? And Caesar was just a few days old, weeks, maybe even that first month. All he could do was lay on his back and be like a fish on the dry. He couldn't do anything. He was just crying because, he wants to move, he wants to do things, but in terms of his physical development, he just wasn't there yet. So he was completely dependent on me, on Gian, on people in the house, to carry him, to feed him, to change his diaper. And, in the beginning, we would give him tummy time, which is where you put them on their belly so they can start practicing their core muscles, their arm muscles, and all those muscles they need to get moving in life. And I'll see if I can find a picture. In the beginning, he would just lay there on his belly, and he'd be like, ugh. He couldn't get up at all. It was just so sad to see him. And now 6 months later, he's up and about, he's shuffling around, he's sitting, he can do things. I mean, he's still annoyed that he can't do as much as we can, but he can do a lot more things than he did 6 months ago. And if I looked at him every day he was just failing. Every day he was just crying. Every day he wasn't able to do that which he wanted to do, which he wanted to be capable of. But he didn't stop. Every day, he just kept on trying. And then eventually, one day, he succeeded. And I mean, when we take up new tasks or want to learn new things, the moment there's a little bit of struggle, we tend to just give up, like, well, I'm never going to be able to do that, or it's just not worth it. I mean, what if babies would do that? Because, I mean, they have a really tough time And what if they decide, well, I'm not gonna like try and get up from my belly, I'm just gonna lay here forever. It's pretty sad. They'd never grow up to be adults. I mean, yeah, they just fail every day until they succeed. We can learn from that. Um, Life lesson 5. The body's capable of amazing things. Even though babies, their bodies kind of suck, their digestive systems are immature, the whole teething thing happens, why couldn't they just be born with teeth? Their bodies are able to regulate themselves quite effectively. I mean, a lot of things happen inside them, like when Caesar had acid reflux the one night really bad. Mostly the body just corrected itself without us having to do much or him having to do much. He didn't freak out, he just realized, oh my god, something's going on, but mostly he just let the body reset itself, and then he was quite fine. When something happens to our bodies when we're growing up, we immediately go into fear, tense our bodies up, and I think that just keeps the body from correcting itself, which it can. Because we're saying, oh my god, something's wrong, the body's going, oh, is there? And then it just like stops correcting itself. I mean, often now, even when he's sleeping, he sometimes makes this weird noise, but the body just corrects itself and he goes back to sleep. And also, I mean, in terms of as the mother going without sleep and just resting, you learn to just rest in your body and have enough with that. And it's quite amazing. So there you go. Some 5 life lessons from me with my experience with Caesar.